Don't worry, I haven't forgotten about Larry Millete because yesterday was trial day number 11. And I'm telling you, every single day, something crazy happens. So yesterday, Genesis Tabalanza was up on the stand. She is the sister-in-law of Maya. She was up there the day before. And remember, they brought her back. This is her cross-examination. And by the way, this is a picture from the preliminary hearing. Remember, we're not allowed to take any pictures in this one. So some of these photos are older ones. She says on cross-examination that when Larry was asking her about hemlock, she thought it was for Larry to use himself, which is why her response is, Larry, I'm worried about you. She really thought Larry was looking at it as a method of self-harm. She never, ever thought Larry would use it on Maya. Like, that didn't even cross her mind. We also learn about this white truck. So this is a photo that is taken in June of 2020. This truck belongs, I guess, to Jamie Laird. And what happened was, this is at a point where Maya is living with Genesis and JR. Larry is texting every day. Where is she? Where is she? Is she wearing her ring? What is she doing? Well, it turns out that Larry had hidden their daughter's cell phone in Maya's car so he could track her whereabouts. Because there's nothing fucking creepy about that at all. And he traced her to this parking lot where he caught her in this car with Jamie Laird. And he confronted them and he asks Jamie, like, what are you doing here? Why are you sitting here with my wife? Now, Larry recounted this story to Genesis, which is how she's able to tell it on the stand. But she said that according to Larry, Maya looked surprised and Maya started crying. Larry then spoke with Genesis about reporting the affair to the Navy, which is both of their employer, so that Maya could be fired and that Jamie would get custody of their kids. The defense starts to ask Genesis about a couple other things. She admits that a couple of days before they were caught in the truck, Maya had been sick to the point that she could not get out of bed. Now remember, she's staying with Genesis and JR at the time. She's so sick she can't get out of bed. Genesis says that Maya told her she'd had an abortion. The defense is really having a time with Genesis. They're going to bring her back on Monday because I think they're going to go line by line by line and these text messages between her and Larry. But they found a number of inconsistencies in her testimony. So they would ask her a question in this hearing and she would give an answer that didn't match what she gave in the preliminary hearing. So then they would make her listen, she'd have to put on headphones and she'd have to listen to her old testimony and then say, oh, yeah, I remember now. So there was a number of times where they caught these inconsistencies. During the preliminary hearing, there was a point where Genesis admitted on the stand that during the time that they lived together, Maya was very distracted. She was on her phone a lot. And she wasn't necessarily paying attention to her kids. And Genesis had told of a time where the kids came to her because they were hungry and they needed to be fed. And so they were looking for Genesis to care for them because Maya was too distracted. Genesis testifies that the texts show Larry's growing anxiety. He's ratcheting up his conversations, how he's worried Maya's going to leave him. Genesis tries to comfort him, tries to calm him down. And then he says, and this is a quote she said on the stand, real friends help move dead bodies. So he didn't want her. He didn't want her to just say nice things. He wanted her help, just like he asked the brothers to help find a hitman. At one point, Maya finds out that Larry continues to basically stalk Genesis, and Maya confronts Genesis and says, you've got to stop responding to him. Stop answering his calls. Stop responding to his texts. You've got to stop. And then on their trip to Glamis, which is the last time they were all together as a family, Genesis testifies that Maya said, this is it. I'm going to file for divorce. And if anything happens to me, it would be Larry. Genesis also testified that she tried to steer Larry clear from spellcasters and witchcraft. She kept trying to steer him away from these dark arts. She didn't think this was the appropriate thing to do. And he said, if it helps, I'm willing to sell my soul. And again, there's a whole slew of text messages between Larry and Genesis that are going to be discussed further on Monday. Now, just as a side note, the mayor was back. And the defense did say something to the judge. They're like, we just want to put it on the record. The judge says, yep, this is an open courtroom. So whenever there's an empty seat, anyone is allowed to come and sit in it. So he is allowed to come in. He is wearing his official pin when he's in the courtroom. And although it's open to the public and he's allowed to come in and watch, one of the reporters, I think she was, I'm sorry, I don't know what news channel she was with, she had said that the mayor was seen also taking photos outside of the courtroom with Maya's family. I'm telling you, I don't think this is good. I think he should go back to his office, because this feels to me like this could look good for Larry if this ever comes up for appeal. I just feel like this is weird to me, and I wish he wasn't there. We'll be back in court on Monday. Have a great weekend.